environment, anywhere, but I'm sure we are all very familiar with the word mental health and work life balance. So, before I would drop my own definition, I would really, like I said, it's going to be an interactive section. So, if there's anyone that can give us a little bit explanation on what you understand by mental health and work life balance, just very brief. One person can pick mental health and the other person can pick work life balance. So, anyone, please. You can just raise up your hand, then I will call your name. Okay, Bilikis, sorry, you can go ahead.
So basically, what I understand by mental health is just our emotional, social well-being, psychological, how a person thinks, the way you behave, your thought process, basically is your mental health, and the decisions surrounding the thought process, like factors surrounding us, our thought process, our attitude, our social environment, emotions, and all of that. That's what I understand by mental. Basically, um, is the emotional and psychological and social well-being. Um, I don't know how to put the words together. Sorry for the lack of organization of words.
No, it's
It's more
fine.
of
It's fine.
like
Yeah.
is
Thank you.
emotional
Thank you.
resilience. Basically, that's understand
All right.
emotional
Thank you
resilience.
very much. Okay. Thank you very much for the definition. You are very much correct. So, is there any other person that want to give us a little bit explanation on work-life balance? Okay, Mr. Ridwan, you can push.
Okay, sorry, good evening. Can everyone hear
Yes, we can hear
me?
you.
Sorry, I kind of having cold. Okay, well, yeah, what I understand by work-life balance to that extent is okay, trying to like you know maintaining a kind of relationship between your work and outside office. Sometimes I think I actually okay. I just want to paint an example, like a scenario. I've fallen into that category several times, whereby um my social life is just like okay, nothing like social life, just because of work, 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 work. All I do is work, 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 and sometimes it could be draining and tiring and all of that. So we actually know that okay, it's fine. We need to work. We need to make the money. We need to like improve ourselves. But at least so much of so much work and no play at all can actually, you know, make you, how will I call it now, lose yourself. I can be frustrating and all of that. I don't know if you guys if you get what I'm trying to say. So that's my own kind of understanding of work-life balance.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ridwan. That the example you portrayed was very, very understandable. Thank you very much once again. Okay, so according to my own definition of mental health, it says mental health encompasses human psychology, psychological, emotional, and environmental well-being. The mental health basically affects how you think, which relates to the psychological parts. It affects how you feel as a human, which relates to the emotional part, and also how you act in your environment. That basically relates to the environmental well-being, as explained. When you're talking about your mental health, I normally say it's give and take. Whichever ways the environment, whatever the environment seem like at the moment, whatever it imputes in your head is exactly the way you would react to the environment, in the sense that if around you you tend to sense, let me say, negativity in some way. You would always give out negativity. That's why I said earlier that it's give and take. It's give and take. Whatever you feel around affects what you are going to give out. So work-life balance refers to maintaining a harmonious relationship between your work and personal life. It is basically when you are trying to balance the time you spend on your work, on projects and office space, with the time you spend with your family, your friends, and your your spouse. Most times when people talk about work life balance, I'm like, is there really a work life balance? This argument has been ongoing for a while. Even till now, there's no like a straightforward answer that yes, there's a work life balance. Most people say no, it's not possible. Some people say yes, it's possible. That is actually based on discipline. So the reason for this program is just to gather insight from every one of us to at least have like a bigger picture of this, especially this work-life balance, to hear our individual thoughts and opinion towards it. And that's why I said it's going to be very, very interactive. It's not just me speaking. Okay, so why is work-life balance important in our life? Our work life balance affects our mental health. That's why the two of them kind of connect, kind of relate to each other. Your work life balance affects your mental health. If you are not having a balanced work life, it will definitely affect your mental health, in the sense that if the time you spend at work is higher than the time you spend with your loved ones or with your friends, it will definitely affect your mental health negatively. And if the time you are spending with probably your loved ones, or the time you are spending to hang out with your friends, is higher than the time you spend at work, I mean, it means more funds are not going to come in, meaning it will still definitely affect your mental health, because you'll be receiving, let's say, queries from your bosses, you'll be receiving letters and complain one complaint or the other, and it will definitely still affect your mental health. So one way or the other, these two relates and are very, very similar. Not similar, I would say they connect to each other. One needs the other, one way or the other. So when I say why is work life balance important, we humans tend to fall into that trap all the time, generally thinking the more we work is the more inputs we have. The more we equate our work and our leisure time, is the more output that we produce network wise. But basically, poor work life balance will leave you working more hours but being less productive. This statement I just made now might sound funny, because we all think, oh, if you're working, the more funds will be coming in, the more inputs will be coming in. But it really doesn't work like that. I mean, that's why it says poor work-life balance will leave you working more hours but being less productive. You can't cheat nature. If in a day we have 24 hours, okay, let me say in 7 days a week, in a day out of 7 days, we have 24 hours, and you tend to work 20 hours. I mean, that first day always seem like, oh, you are doing it, you are balancing it. I mean, you are giving all your best, funds are coming. Second day it goes the same way, third day it goes the same way, and then the target you have for that particular project is that you are meant to cover a particular milestone for 1 week. Let's say it's a 1 week milestone, and then you set your time in the sense that Monday, Tuesday, Friday, you're just working. No time to rest, no time to even pick up your phone and chat with your friend and have one or two discussion. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're working, working, working. Thursday, if you have the breakdown, it will definitely still affect the output for the end of the week. That's the total output, which is meant to equate the milestone that you are meant to meet. So poor work-life balance will leave you working more hours but being less productive. But when you try to like share these hours within this seven, within this when you tend to share the hours within 7 days, you'll be surprised, even if it's just 2 hours per day that you give to that particular project. You'll be surprised, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours in one week, you will definitely still hit your target. Just like to achieve a healthy body, people tend to diet and also exercise. When you want to get that perfect shape, you diet and exercise. Two things work together. One can be higher than one. When you're trying to lose weight, for instance, you're just exercising, you're exercising, but you're not dieting, you're not reducing your food intake, you're not reducing your junks. It's definitely not going to work. It's more like a waste of time. It's more like whatever the exercise you do today, tomorrow it keeps increasing your whatever you are eating keeps it's more like you're not doing anything. So the same thing when it comes to work life balance, we need to engage in activities, which is let me use work now. Let me use work environment as an example. When it comes to work life balance, we need to engage in activities and also rest in order to improve our mental, not just our mental, to improve our physical and our psychological health. You see these three things: mental, physical, and psychological. When you are having issues with any of them, trust me, you are not going to be okay. And that's when you are always you always be prone to sickness, be prone to I am like just doing things anyhow. You always be and it also gives room for it also gives room for hello, can everyone hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to be sure that, because I was just talking since I I didn't check. Okay, so just like I said, our mental, physical, and psychological health, three of them have to be perfect. When when you keep working, when you keep working without resting, it will affect your mental health, it will affect your physical health, and it will also affect your psychological health one way or the other. So what are the ways that we can improve a work-life balance? Yes, they said there is no work-life balance. Some people say there's no work-life balance, and some say based on discipline there is work-life balance. So I'm just going to like give us one or two or three, let's say three points, 3 points on the ways that we can improve our work-life balance. Number one is plan ahead. You should always plan ahead to combine your work activities with your leisure times. For example, while working remotely, I mean, we should while working remotely, you can, if you're I'm talking about if you're a remote worker, though, if you're a remote worker, you can invite your friends over while working. You can take a walk in a quiet estate. Maybe if there's a meeting going on. I'm basically talking about the work life balance here, like ways how we can like balance the two of them during our working hours. If you're lucky enough to get a remote job, these are like ways in which you can improve your work life balance. While working, while working, every let me not say every day. Let me say we have 7 days a week. Let me say 2 days. 2 days you can just invite one of your friends over. You can be on your laptop working. Meanwhile, you and your friend is also having a chat, a chit chat or discussion whatsoever. It helps. If you're meant to have, okay, this I'm sure all of us are familiar with stand-up meetings in the morning. Am I right? Stand up meetings. Is anyone familiar with it?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So most times we normally have stand up meetings around 8, 9. Let's say from it's always from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. Most times the stand up meeting is meant to be before the activities of the day. So if for instance now your stand up meeting is always timed to be 8 a.m., you can use the opportunity to engage in exercise like jog. You can be participating, you can use your headset. You are doing two things at the same time. You are jogging, you're trying to like maintain your physical health and also engaging in your work activities. I don't know if I'm making sense. Jogging while in a virtual meeting. Since it's a virtual meeting, of course, you can always engage anywhere from anywhere you are with your headset, with your earpiece. So at that point, you are doing two things at the same time. You're trying to balance. You're trying to balance the both of them. Another point is set blocks of time for different tasks. Designate different times for different tasks. A time to join meeting, in a time to do mentally intensive work. You should always like share your time in the way that in a day, let me say in 24, it doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be every day. In 24 hours in a particular day, okay, you can say I resume office 8 a.m. and we close 5 p.m. Just 1 hour of your time to, let me say, stroll to go and meet your friend or hang out with your friend won't take anything, I'm sure. But if you're the remote worker, like I said, you can always invite any of your friends over. So while working, you can just, even if it's 2 minutes, you see those 2, 3 or seconds, you just turn to your friend and be like, oh, this is that. Did you hear this? Did you hear that? You're working, but you're still gisting with your friend. Some people say it's distraction. Most people say it's distraction, but I mean, when you know what you are doing, when you know what you're doing, I don't think it should be termed as distraction. You set blocks of time for different tasks. You have in 24 hours. You have you go to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You know, okay, this is how my hours go every day. Then on Wednesday, you can just plan ahead. You must have planned your week like on Sunday that okay, Monday, Tuesday, then Wednesday, just 1 hour I will go to see one of my friend or me and my friends will go hang out. Just set blocks of time for different tasks. Don't just keep doing activities every day, every day, every day, every day, just like that. You need to set a time. You need to set different time for different activities. When you are in the office, most of us have this habit of when let me say there's this job that you're meant to submit, there's this project that you're meant to submit a report, let me say end of the week. It's still end of the week, oh, which is Sunday. Oh. Then on Monday, you are so glued to your laptop, like even when it's closing hours. I'm talking about those that work from the office. Even when it's closing hours, you're like, no, 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 I have to meet up, I have to meet up, and I have to meet up, I have to. That's a very, very bad habit. If you're working in the office, you know closing hours is 5 p.m. Whatever you are doing, once it's 5 p.m., expect to shut down. I'm sure even most of companies and organizations have out there have already set that standard that I mean whatever you are doing, the security should shut down the electricity and the old devices once it's 5 p.m. The reason why they are doing that is not because they want to manage their fuel, or it's not because they don't like that you are working. I mean the more you work, the more inputs they have, the more you whatever you produce, the more inputs they have. It's not like they are having any issues with that, but for our own benefit, which is their staff's benefits, they tend to do that because if the staff break down tomorrow, it will definitely have effect on the output of your activities that you do in the office. To definitely have effects. When you break down, you tend to go for sick leave, and I mean it's always not planned that way. So if you've not trained anyone, it's not like when you're going for a leave, you must have trained someone that is meant to replace you. But when you have issues like maybe you have a breakdown at the minute, it's always unplanned. So they have to be looking for who to replace you, have to train and all of that. So in order to avoid all those things, company normally have that standard that okay, when once it's 5 p.m. or if 5 p.m. is our closing time, okay, let's say max give them extra 30 minutes or extra 1 hour. Once it's 6 p.m., shut down all the electricity, shut down all the systems and all of that, because they know they will always have all this walkie jacky, or what do they call it, in the office. So if you are also a remote worker, it still doesn't mean okay, because you're working from home, you have the opportunity to work anytime and all of that. Doesn't mean you should work 24 hours a day because you're working from home. You can also set block of time, even if not if even if the company is not, because most companies that we do remote jobs from, most of them don't even like care about they just give you a time, they give you a timeline which you are meant to report a particular project or a particular milestone. So wherever ways or which time you want to do it is not their business, but theirs is that in so day you ought to have given us a report on what you are doing so far and all of that. So like I said, end work at a certain time, because you're a remote worker doesn't mean you should be working 247 because you are at home. Give yourself that time to that. Okay, if you wake up in the morning, the time you used to brush, bathe, you can set let's say max 2 hours to get ready. Have a setup in your house, even if you don't have office and chair and all of that. Just have that mindset that you are also in the office. So if you work from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day, you will definitely give results. Every day you definitely give results. But because you have that mindset of oh, you're at home, so you tend to abuse the timing. So when it's not like 9 minutes, let me say a report that you're meant to give like on Friday, when it's 9 minutes, then on Thursday you are not like on your laptop 247, because you have to, all the days that you've spent, watching movie, going about and all of that is wasted. And the moment you are doing that, I mean trying to meet up the time, rushing the hours, it will definitely affect your mental health mentally. It would affect you mentally. Okay, so the next is find something you love doing and set it after work. For those that have that bad habit of after once it's closing hours, that's when you just want to start your own work. It's very neutral, it's very normal. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Of course it's good. It's good that you it's not good to be a workaholic, but it's also good that you're a very serious minded person. But ways how you can discipline yourself in that ways, you can find something that you love doing and set it after work. Might be that okay, you like, let me say you like singing. I'm just saying you like music or you like singing generally. You can say, okay, after work, let me have it in my mind that after work I would like to, you can even register. You can register in a karaoke say hall or something like that, like all these gatherings, something like that. They have something like that. You register. So you paid a certain amount of money for this thing. So you would always watch your time that okay, once is you close by 5 and the karaoke starts by 6. It's something that you like love doing, something you find interest in. So there's always this agility and always this vibe that I can't wait to finish work. I can't wait for work to finish. You're always looking at time. So that's like another way that you can use to discipline yourself if you are fond of always glued to your system even after closing hours. So the last point regarding that is assign, let me say, a coach or a close friend. You can assign a close friend or even your colleague in the office to be your coach. You can tell your colleague that okay, see, oh, please, once it's 5 p.m. In fact, once you are going, I don't even mind whatever I will say or don't mind whatever I'm doing. Even if it means for you to come and press switch off on my system, please make sure I shut down once it's so time. Or you can assign a coach that would always be monitoring you, because if you don't do all this, it would affect you. It would affect you negatively. So these are like ways which you can discipline yourself. Assign a coach or a close friend to be your coach. If you feel too overwhelmed or stuck with your work, such that you don't even know how to disconnect yourself, that's the bad habit I'm talking about. Most times it's not our fault, it's just the way we are. So if you are that kind of person and you feel that way, you can just assign a professional coach. Will be that person will be like disturbing you after work, calling you, sending you messages and all of that, or a friend to always remind you on how you can discipline your timing. Okay, so ways which we can improve our mental health through work life balance. Number one is accept that there is no work life balance, which I said some people argue that there is no work life balance and some argue. Why not stay in the middle? Just look for ways to discipline your own self. Don't have that ideology that, oh, they said there's no work life balance, it's not possible, let me just no, like try to like discipline your own self. Just remove your mind that there is work life balance or there's no work life balance. Just focus on your own self. Try to discipline yourself. Try not to push for a perfect schedule. Strive to be a realistic person. Be very, very realistic. You know that this job is meant to take 3 hours to complete. Don't strain the hours. Don't strain the hours. You know, if you sit down now that okay, this particular job, you can finish it in 3 hours. Don't say because you have 24 hours, let me share it one hour, 1 hour. It gets tiring at some point. It gets very tiring and it kind of delay and causes drawback in your goal for the day. Some days in a week now, from some days you can focus on work to reach your daily targets. While some days you can close out fully on work and spend more time with friends and your loved ones. Just in 7 days a week, like I said, especially for we remote workers, we are fond of that. We are always very fond of that. We know we have 7 days, so we don't really have plan. If you're working in the office, there's always a timing. Okay, 8 o'clock you resume, 5 o'clock you close. Whatever it is, 5 o'clock you have to close and leave the office, then continue the next day. But we remote workers, we know that we don't have a discipline, we don't have a standard. Let me put it that way. We don't have a standard which we are always to follow. So we just tend to misuse that opportunity. So try to always plan ahead. Try to be very, very realistic in reaching your daily targets. Find a job that you love doing. You can't have an effective mental health if what the job you are doing, if you don't if you don't have interest in it, if you're not comfortable with the current job that you're doing, it would not improve your mental health. I won't say most I had a friend, my colleague, while I was still working in the bank. It was like a direct superior to me. He told me he has been working in bank for like, let me say, 7 to 8 years, not in one particular branch, but this particular department that he knew that he has no sanity there. He has no sanity there. But you know what normally happens to we human? Will I call it laziness? No, I won't say it's laziness. We just tend to get so comfortable because we don't want to go through the stress of looking for another job. So we tend to feel so relaxed and comfortable, even if where you are currently, I won't say you are not welcome, but we all know how we feel in our environment. Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we can hear
sure.
you.
Okay. So we all know how when you step into a particular environment, when you let me you see one or two people, there's this.
Hello, Stella. Are you still talking?
Hello.
Because you're muted.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't know I was muted. So if you enter a particular space, if it's somewhere that let me say you love the people around, there's this happiness from within you that you feel when you enter. But if because you have this kind of boss that is not always encouraging, is always pressuring you, when you enter you kind of feel, in fact, the moment you enter the environment, the moment you enter the space and you set your eyes on those certain people, it kind of break your heart. So imagine having to go through that process every day, every day, every day of your life, all for what? It will definitely affect your mental health. So I would still advise most people, don't hesitate, leave the job if you don't find interest in it, if you're not happy. If you enter, in fact, once you enter the office and you're already feeling sad, you have it, the moment you wake up in the morning and you remember that, oh, you have to go to the office, aside the stress, so that, okay, no one loves to go to the office. Left to everyone, we just want to be at home and manna should be falling from heaven. But the moment you know that, okay, the moment you're on your way to the office and you're already feeling sad, even from your house, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Let's work towards pushing for another one for the sake of our mental health. If you're a remote worker, try to prioritize your work. Do not assume that you can do five work at the same time. You say, oh, because I'm not working in the office, they would not know that I'm working with another company, or they would not know that I'm doing this. Every of this company would give you a target. Aside target, you have you have the amount of activities that you are meant to report every day. For company A, let's say you are meant to give in 5 hours. Company B, you are meant to give in 5 hours. Company C, you are meant to give in 5 hours. That's already 15 hours in 24 hours. How's that possible? The moment you are doing like five work at the same time, you're always trying to meet up this, meet up that, meet up this. At the end of the day, you just see that you're always feeling headache every day, and it's definitely still affects your mental health. So try to prioritize your work. Okay, you have you have five, let me say, five jobs at the same time. You can weigh the five of them. We would always weigh it with the one that pays higher, of course. You can weigh the five of them. Which ones, you reduce it to, like, let me say three, because no one is a jackie. No matter how you think you can do it, or you can meet up, you will break down. You will definitely break down. So try to prioritize these opportunities, and let me say drop some out of it for the sake of your mental health. So maintaining a healthy work-life balance is not only good for your health and relationship, it should also improve your productivity and performance on a daily basis at work. If the work is not giving you sanity, if the work is not making you happy, or if you are always feeling sad when going to work, I would advise leave that work, or in fact start looking for another. Because I will not say leave the work when you've not gotten another. Start looking for another, and just for the sake of your mental health. So okay, it's already time to round up. With all said, I don't know if anyone has an addition, because like I said, it's not just going to be about me. It's not going to just going to be me talking. We're going to be interacting. So if you have let me say any contribution on ways which we can improve our mental health and balance our work life, I would like you to share. Very, 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 please be very, very brief because of our time. Like I said, I won't take much of our time. So you have idea or ways in which would help in discipline us and also improve a work life balance. Please kindly share with us. Just raise up your hand and let me call. Okay, you can go on, Mr. John.
All right, thank you, Stella. Good evening, everyone. Um, Actually, I thank you so much, Stella, for everything you've shared to us so far, for every word you've given us and the piece of advice, most especially your your definition about mental health and as to how it affects us if we do not manage it. It is important that we are able to manage our mental health, most especially sometimes where we have so much to do, so much jobs on our decks to do, and we are also um, not having enough time to really, take on a lot of tasks that we are supposed to. For instance, I remember the scenario that happened with me. For an example, that I would go to work, most especially for us that go to work very early, and we are still coming back late to still deliver the task, and we still have to wake up early again to go to work. And also, just based on your example, where you cited a toxic environment, where when we come into the environment, we don't feel safe or we don't feel welcomed or friendly. We don't have this, this welcoming spirit to be among, you know, to even come to the office. So my own advice or my own piece of advice, just for I mean, on everything you just said, just want to summarize everything. I would say the best way to to um have equality, mental health, life balance, right? Just as this topic says, is to is to plan. There is nothing that goes, there is nothing that goes or that happens outside planning. So we all have equal 24 hours. Whether you're giving 50 tasks, whether you're giving 10 tasks, we all have equal 24 hours. But planning will help you to, distinguish between the more important things and the less important things and what is ought to be done at the right time. So I'm gonna still say planning is very good, is um a key quality, a key tool for anyone who wants to, um, have a quality life balance. You plan your time. So, for instance, if you're supposed to do a task early, you can delegate. Also, delegation is also key. You can have people you delegate works to, and just imagine you're a manager, or imagine you head a team and you have a lot of work to do. You delegate, and in the act of delegating, also make sure you're a good teacher. You're somebody who is approachable. Okay, just like you have people that are very good in one thing, and you also see their subordinates also getting closer, even not 100% good, but at least closer to the quality of what the master or the supervisor can actually do. So you plan your time, you be somebody who is approachable, you become a leader, you delegate tasks to people, and lastly, you be a good listener. Be somebody that is willing to adapt. Because the truth is, sometimes we go through errors because we're not able to listen. We don't listen. We want to do things on our own way. It could have been done this way. There are ways they do them. But because you feel or we feel that we can take this approach faster without consulting, a higher mind, or without consulting someone that is more skilled in that aspect, we might probably do it the wrong way. And at that, don't what we will just realize is we spent a whole lot of time doing so much of a little thing. You understand? So delegation, becoming a leader on yourself, and planning is one of those key things that's going to help you achieve mental balance, and to help you reduce stress and help you achieve um a, achieve a good mental work-life balance. So that's all for me. Thank you, Stella. You can go on now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. John. Well said. I really hope that we all understood everything that you have said. And is there any other person that would add one or two things, just real quick? Any other person that would want to add, or you have any question? Please, you can drop it. Okay, seems like there's none. All right. In the absence of no question or any other contribution, I'd like to announce to everyone that we are currently on live. We are currently live on YouTube. So kindly after this session, kindly go go to YouTube and comment under this particular post, this live stream. Kindly comment how you feel about the program, what you learned, and what you the knowledge, the few knowledge that you gained in this program. So real quick, I just want to throw light on our upcoming events, which will be holding in December. Sorry, my mistake. I'm sure most of us are already familiar with it. Must have seen posts here and there concerning it. So our TechOn event is a hangout program. It aims to promote a platform for networking with senior tech experts. It's necessarily not just in QA space. We'll be having ex senior experts from different categories of tech. So we shouldn't just be expecting people in line of QA. So it's just going to be about we networking, we connecting with different people from different tech worlds or from different tech companies. So on that day, there will be a meet and greet session where we get to interact with one another, including the senior experts from different field. We tend to on that day also it will be very fun. It would be very fun. There will be games, there'll be a lot of games, prizes to be won. You get to meet a lot of people from different companies, from different organizations. It would be fun. Currently, we are looking to host it in a beach. I mean, it's December, for crying out loud. You've worked from January to November. So just like what we are saying, have the balance, have the work-life balance. Don't Let's not just engage in work, 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 work. Let's also create time for leisure. So I would really urge every one of us to participate. I don't know if I'm saying for those that are in Lagos, and even if you're not in Lagos, you can also fly down. You can also fly down to join us on that day. So it's not just going to be about the fun. You would also go home with a lot of knowledge and stuff that needs to be learned on that day. And also, you would make a lot of contacts because I mean, tech space is generally about connecting, is about your connects, about your network, is about your surroundings, whom and who you are surrounded with. So at this early, for those that are just starting in this field, in this early stage, it's very important that you build your network. It's not just about learning what QA is about. You also build your network, meet with people, because it's through it's through these people. Okay, read one. I'll call you in very shortly. It's through these people that you could get one or two jobs or updates from. So try to build your network very strong. So it will be fun on that day. Of course, we know already that the ticket is just 10,000. I know the country is not smiling at us at the moment, but let's try to plan ahead before then. We're still in September, and the the program is December. So let's just plan ahead and come out and have fun, and that's it. So Mr. Ridwan, you raised your hand. I don't even need to say something.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
All right, thanks. Okay, so thanks for this session. I'm grateful. I okay, I just want to commend the effort of the organizer and speaker. I've really, learned a lot, and I've gotten a lot from this session, and I'm so grateful. And that being said, sorry, I would like to make a request. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
Okay, please go on. Can I can hear you?
Okay, okay, please, 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 please. I'm seeing a lot of people here that I'm not, I don't know, like physically, and okay, I didn't know anyone physically. I've not met anyone physically. Let me just say that we've only met in class, but I'm just saying some people here that I don't know at all. Please, I would appreciate if you guys can like, connect with me on my social media, and maybe we could from there share stuff, share job opportunities, share, knowledge and all of that. I'm on Twitter at CUSJIYR and on LinkedIn, Olatije with one on LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, just like we said, we should connect. It's very, very important. Mr. Read one, it's also cool. You can go ahead and drop your username or your LinkedIn or your social media handles. You can drop it in the comment section and we can go from there, pick it up and you can just drop it. So, hey guys, after this session, there will be a poll quiz regarding this concluded program. So, I really urge us to participate in it. It's just going to be one or two questions on how the program went, just our to get our input. So, for the do does anyone else have any other thing to say because the session is about to end now? Do any of us have anything to add or say? Okay, in the absence of none, I want to say thank you everyone for joining the program. Thank you very much for your patience. I really appreciate. So kindly have okay. A poll has been dropped in the comment section. Okay. A poll has been dropped now. I don't know if every one of us can see it. There was a notification that popped up just by the right. Let me share my screen so that you can see where you.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it already.
Okay, okay, okay. That's cool. So you can just quickly participate in it. The first question says, "Why is work-life balance important?" First option: to keep fit, to balance our workload, to have a healthy life balance. The second one says, "How was your experience in this program?" So it's just basically to have our input on how the program went. But once again, thank you everyone for joining the program. Thank you very much. Because I just want to give a few minutes for those that are still trying to fill the participate in the quiz. Are we done with that? Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. Good night, everyone. Have a nice evening and sleep well. Bye, everyone.
Bye.